Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. This is Dr. Danny. We have a lot of new subscribers. I'd love to know if my sound is okay. So y'all let me know if you can hear me. The last time I went live, we had some crackling issues. So I want to make sure that I'm coming in clear. Dezarey's going to join us. She probably has mom stuff going on. So I'll let her in when she's when she's ready. Yeah, wow. I hope a lot of our new subscribers are from the Archaics community. They call themselves errants, and so I am the errant astrologer. I'm very excited about it. It's very, very fun. And I love that there is Look Up Astrology. Lori from Washington State. I'm going to show your comment because I love the name of your channel. Look Up Astrology. That's what it's all about. That's what we're doing. We're looking up. So, wow. So yeah, so this community, let me tell you about Saturday afternoon from my perspective, just so you guys get an idea of what it was actually like for me. It was interesting because I always send out my links, like, I don't know, a day ahead of time if I can, but I didn't have the link to Jason's StreamYard until about 3 minutes before we got started. So I was a little nervous. I was like, is this actually going to happen? I see people in the chat, like I'm waiting, and I'm checking my email, and then I finally got it. So I was already kind of nervous and revved up from that. And then to actually speak with the man himself, he's quite a presence. So I was like, okay, here we are. And then he put me backstage and started the intro, which is just this. I need to do that. I need to put an intro up like he does. It's very exciting. It gets you excited about being in the live stream and being in the community. So I loved that. I thought that was so fun. And I was doing the zoomies on the inside. If you guys have ever seen a dog puppy get really excited, they do what's called the zoomies. So that's what I was doing back there. And then he brought me on, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're here. So the experience was really wonderful. He is a great person to talk to. The community is full of love and affirmations, and they're just really nice and great. And I've had a shower of love since Saturday. So I do appreciate all of you that watch that and have subscribed to my channel. Tonight's topic is going to be about the full moon coming up, which is also a lunar eclipse. So we'll look at the sky. We'll talk about the astrology. I call this talk Pray or Pray, kind of to get you guys in here to listen to the message. But at the same time, when I first started looking at it, I felt a void. I looked at it and I felt really blank. And that's unusual for me. Usually when I look at a chart, I light up. All of a sudden, there's energy there for me. And I think I don't know if it's a genetic defect or a gift, but whenever I see something dark, sometimes I don't even respond to it. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. It's like, I can't. And so I saw some dark energy in this full moon, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. And I really hope that you guys don't take that away from the message that I have to go along with this lunar eclipse. But eclipse seasons are big deals, you guys. I mean, it's an energetic fluctuation, and it can have very unpredictable effects. You can actually go back in history and time and look at the stock market tickers, and you can see fluctuations in the amount of buying and selling around eclipses, also around Mercury, also around the moon. So these are cycles in time that are coming together, and when they converge in a certain way, then you have an opening for a certain type of energy. It's easier, and sometimes the darker energy, it's easier for it to come through. This is a south node eclipse, so the energy will be it might be very draining. The actual solar eclipse, which is on the 2nd of October, that's following this lunar eclipse, that will be in Virgo at the south node. So you're going to have Sun, Moon, and Mercury lining up on the south node in constellational Virgo. So this particular solar eclipse is a really fantastic time to set new intentions, right? You're going to unconsciously do it anyway, because whatever you're thinking and whatever you're feeling is going to be manifested in the following lunar cycle, Mercury cycle, and solar cycle. You'll see it. If you follow me, you'll go through these cycles. It takes time. You have to kind of keep watching. You have to follow along with what's happening in the sky to understand how this manifests in your life. And when you literally see things clicking into place, it's amazing. It's amazing. And so when there is an opportunity for this darker energy to come through, to be used more easily, there is also an opportunity for us to respond in kind at a vibrational frequency that blocks that resonance from us, a protection, if you will. Okay. So this video is to show you that astrology, show you why I'm feeling all this stuff. I think if you're just an intuitive person and you don't even follow astrology, that you probably already feel this, right? I mean, with everything that's going on in the world, there's something big coming. And so are we going to be pray, or are we going to pray? And what are we going to wish for, right? I mean, you can wish for the collective. You can wish for yourself. You can wish for bad things. You can wish for good things. If you don't know what to wish for, just keep your thoughts high vibing. Stay out of the victimhood mentality. Stay out of fear. Stay out of anger. If you have to, do a fast from the media and just sit with yourself and in nature and just be amazed at the glorious wonder that is this creation around us. So, how do you guys feel about that? I feel so good. I'm glad I'm doing this live tonight. I feel like I needed to reach out. When I get a lot of reading requests, I tend to get very focused in that work. And I kind of looked up and 3 days had gone by. So I said, all right, I need to come out and say hello. I wanted to let all of you know that ordered a reading from me, that I will get to it. The love has been amazing, and I am in heaven with my astrology. I've gotten through some of the larger readings. If you all want an eclipse reading, that will take priority. So there's a link below for that. Anything with timing, I'll get done quicker. But if it's just a natal reading, give me a little bit longer. It might take a little more than a week. As you can imagine, this is energy work. This is channeling, and I want to give you a quality reading that really comes from what I am intuitively getting and what comes from my heart. And so I have to keep my physical self well also. When I first started doing astrology, I actually was so excited to have a lot of readings. And I tried to do 6 or 7 in one day, and I burnt myself out, and I got really sick, and I couldn't eat for like a week. I mean, it was really horrible. Since then, I've gotten better at, taking care of my body, making sure I have time for what I call God mode, where I sit like for an hour or 2 just with myself, with nature. It makes me a lot more productive than if I didn't, and if I just tried to dig and get everything done. So that's kind of how I work. I hope that's okay with you guys, if you don't mind. If you do have an urgency to any of your orders, please also let me know. Just send me an email and say, hey, I ordered something. I have a timing thing. Can you do this quickly? And I can move you up in the queue. But for everybody else, I'm going to get to it. I promise. But thank you so much for the love. And thank you so much for the orders. I hope that it helps you. And I hope that your true stars can guide you. So that's where I'm at, guys. Wow, 29 watching. This is pretty good for me on my live streams. So I have the Archaics community to thank for that. I think I'm going to label myself an errant astrologer. What do you guys think about that? Like hashtag errant astrologer. And then maybe you guys can talk him into letting me back on and doing some more chats with him, because I have so much more along those same kind of lines, where we look at the cycles instead of just the sign, the house, the aspects, because that's just a snapshot, and what's happening is actually waves of energy. It's just stuff that's coming through, and you can, just like a surfer, you can wait it out, and sit this one out, or you can grab it and ride it all the way in. You might fall off, you might tumble, but you learn something along the way. And that's what we're doing. We're doing it unconsciously. And I feel personally, for me, that doing astrology helps us be a more like effective surfer of the waves. So shake and bake likes errant astrologer. So we'll have to see if Jason likes that. So what else was I going to say to you guys? Oh, I have an announcement. Before I get into any astrology. I teach astrology. Those of you that already follow me know that, but the newer people, I teach astrology. I have a course website. It's at learn.drdanny.com. A lot of you have already signed up for the introductory course that's free, and I'm so excited for you guys. And a lot of you have signed up for the Fellowship of 13 Signs. So, stay tuned, because that's where I put my announcements, and that's where I do try to post. I probably won't be very active on Facebook the next couple of days, because I am doing a lot of readings, and my husband's coming home from vacation, and then I have to work a little bit, and so life is coming at me. But I will be getting them done. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. But the next class is going to be on Uranus, and I've titled the class Constellational Uranus for the Modern Astrologer. So the person that is going to co-teach this class with me, his name is Michael Hartigan. He's at One Sky Astrology. He's Uma Stella on Facebook, and Radical Astrology in the group. So check him out. To me, he just comes off as a Uranus archetype. Like I don't know. I feel like he really understands all the intricacies, the quirkiness, the high-mindedness, the intelligence that goes along with the archetype of Uranus. Uranus for me is like the individual spark of the divine within you. It is your journey. Uranus is your journey and your path to express that unique and individual spark of your divinity. Okay. Uranus's orbit is about 84 years, which is about one human lifespan. So you really have a long time to work with Uranus and get into that energy. Uranus also makes big aspects throughout your life, which can be quite impactful. So from the day you were born, wherever Uranus is, a few years later, about 22 years, you have your first Uranus square. And that can feel really weird. And then, halfway through your life, 42, you have the Uranus opposition. And so we're going to get into that. We're going to give you the accurate constellational transit dates for Uranus for the past and for the future, so that when you look into a Uranus textbook and you want to read about it and they give you an ephemeris, you have the real deal. So I'm going to put up, the links are in the description. I'm going to put up a ticker real quick. Guess who's here? Dezarey's here. Hi, sweet girl.
Hello. Oh my gosh, I am on like another planet. I don't know what is going on with me, but I just cannot seem to get it together.
This was your idea to come early.
Literally. Oh my gosh. Okay, but I'm here.
Yeah, I was just kind of welcoming all the new subscribers and talking to them a little bit, chatting to them about what I do and how I teach. And I was letting them know about the Uranus class that's coming up, because I have a link. I'm so excited. Are you in a position to do the moderator thing on YouTube, where you can put that link up, or should I do it this time?
I can do it. I don't see, that's the thing. I don't know how to do it though.
Oh, okay. We'll do that later. Yeah. I'll put it in the chat right now. But welcome. Everybody say hi to Dezarey. She's with Burning Waters of the Moon Tarot. Hello. She is my live sidekick. She kind of gives me emotional support and make sure you guys are all acting appropriately. Well, not that you wouldn't. I was just saying, that the Archaics community is so lovely. I mean, even like the disagreeing comments that I got from them were kind.
Okay, they were respectful.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it was really, really cool. I only had one strange comment on Facebook on my channel, on one of my posts about Jason's ego, and that was it. So
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, for the most part, everything was perfect.
Yeah, I thought the whole thing went very nice. Everybody was very receptive, and I was trying to field questions. I broke my phone like 3 minutes before the stream. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm on another planet. It's insane. And I actually was without a phone for about 2 days, but I was trying to answer questions. And so,
Yeah, that's what I was
one of
going to
the
think
questions
about
that,
next. I was going to think about that. I have a few questions too that I got through email, and then if you have
okay.
some too, we can just kind of do some question and answer. And if you guys have a question,
Oh, yeah.
go ahead and put that in the chat because I can see it and we can talk about it. So yeah, go
Yes,
ahead
I
with
can
your
see the
questions
chat
that you saw.
too. So the main one that I saw was the difference between constellational, sidereal, and Vedic astrology.
Oh,
And
I
they
can
were
explain
wanting to
that.
know
Oh
if
yeah,
Vedic is the same as sidereal. And I thought that they were not, like there were some differences, but I just didn't really know how to answer the question. So yes, go ahead.
yeah. So Vedic also uses 30-degree signs. That's the first problem.
Okay.
But they do align their spring equinox with Pisces. So they've shifted the
Oh, okay.
signs, but they've kept them at 30 degrees.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
Whereas constellational astrology, true sky astrology, uses the actual sizes of the constellations. Because
Okay.
it's the
Yes, I
map.
knew that.
It's literally what's in the sky. That's our map. So all of
Yes.
the
Yes.
astrology methods get the moon phases right. All of them get the aspects right. Even in your own personal readings, if they do whole sign equal houses and they start the first house on your ascendant, your houses are still going to be the same. So that's why when you get a tropical reading, when you get a Vedic reading, it's kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
the Vedic has all these other, it's more of a moon system from what I understand. I don't really know a whole lot about it. And they have nakshakras, if I'm saying that correctly. And they have these,
Nakshatras. Yeah.
nakshatras. Yeah. And there are all
Mm-hmm.
these grids with triangles. And I tried and it didn't feel good. I felt more resistance trying to understand it than just sort of letting it be what it is and doing what I do,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so
I
that's
tried
the
to
difference.
understand it too, and it was a lot.
They
Yeah.
also,
What about
wait,
Ophiuchus?
they also don't include Ophiuchus.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
they will call them. Here's what's so even trickier and almost sinister about it that makes me crazy, is that Vedic astrologers will call
Sinister.
themselves sidereal astrologers. Okay,
Yes.
right,
Yes. And that's
and
what's kind of confusing. Mhm.
right, and Athen Kementi of Mastering the Zodiac, he's one of the trailblazers. He came out first. Like he was a great resource when I first started studying. In fact, I probably went on his website and did a free chart of every single day and my birthday and compared the two just to see what was going on. Like I literally went there every day and ran a chart. And then I finally bought the software.
Yeah, that's kind of where I
Yeah.
am right now. I mean, I'm
So
using your site, but I was using Athens' site for a while, and I
yeah,
downloaded all
he's
his
been the
resources.
trailblazer, and he calls him true sky sidereal astrology, which is
True
technically
Sky. Okay.
correct. But the whole reason I never picked up that language around this kind of astrology is because when you say true sky, you get into this area where and a lot of people are in this phase right now where it's my truth, your truth, right? So
Mhm.
you can't say that's a true sky. You can't say that that's you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so to assume it's true in its name, it shouldn't have to do that. I think the name should describe
Mhm.
what it is. And
Mhm.
I like sidereal, but sidereal confuses people because they think
It
we're
does.
talking about Vedic, and we're not.
Mhm.
So that's the general difference. It's a little bit nuanced, I know, but hopefully you guys understand
Mhm.
that. Let me know, like the video, guys, if you got what I was saying about the difference between the three. If not, I can go a lot deeper. I just want to make sure everybody understands that. Give a thumbs up in the chat.
Yeah,
Oh, look
I
at
get
this
it. I
chat.
like
Look at all these people.
constellational
Yeah.
astrology. Yeah. Oh, these are some new people. Yay. Hey, Celtic Thistle. Oh, wow. Oh, and Uptown Oh Good is a new subscriber from
Yep.
Archaics. Awesome. Yes, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
And Trina with the Moon Tree Intuitive was just watching the Greek. Yeah, the Greek was on there today. He was live this afternoon. Yeah, I was listening
I
a little
watched
bit,
that,
but
or I
I was
listened
so
to that.
busy. I was so busy. I couldn't do
Mhm.
it. I was like, I'm gonna have to listen later. So
Later.
so
Yeah, I
yeah,
was
what
listening to it as I was working. So
another
I'll have to
question
pick it up
I have
later.
been getting is about the software that I use. So if you guys
Mm.
want to know about that, it's called Capricorn Prometheus, and you can get that at Mastering the Zodiac. I'm typing this in here. Zodiac. Zodiac.com. Yeah, just go to software and you can download the software, and then within a day or two, he'll email you the whatchamacallit, the key to the license. And he's really good with
Okay.
support too. So like if you need help setting up your settings so that they do this kind of astrology, you can do that too. And then if you don't want to buy his software, he has a 30-day trial, and you can always go to drdanny.com free chart and calculate a web-based chart if you need to do that for the first little while, just to get, into the cycles,
Mm-hmm.
how they're moving. And you can always follow me because I'm talking about the
Yeah.
sky all the time. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and yours, the one on your channel is a nice starter one because it doesn't include like the asteroids and all of that stuff. So
Mm.
I find it's a little bit easier to run charts on that because there's not so much all around. But then actually, after a while, I'm like, oh, well, where's Lilith?
Yeah.
Where's that? So yeah,
Yeah, eventually you'll want the software
so,
so you can add everything, and then your chart
right.
will look like my friend
Yeah.
Maria's chart. Maria Schumacher, she does the dailies on Radical Astrology, and she has everything in there. I mean, like you look at her charts and
Oh
you're like,
gosh.
whoa. But she'll interpret it and she'll
Right.
bring out a message. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I saw one chart you gave me had some stars on there that I had never seen before. I think there were like 4 stars and all of the 4 points. Yeah,
I put the
I'd never
four
seen that one
watchers
before.
in in the chart. The four watchers: Fomalhaut, Antares, Regulus,
Mm.
and Alcyone. Alcyone is in Pleiades in Taurus. Fomalhaut is in what's that one up there? Aquarius. And then Regulus is in Leo, and then Antares is in Scorpio. What phone app do you use? I use StatChart. The other software that I use when I'm like gazing at the sky, that's super helpful. So if you see a bright star or you see a planet that you want to try to identify, it's called Night Sky app, and you can get that with Apple or any app store, and it's free, I think. So that's nice because then you can tilt it and show the sky. And I did that with my grandson. Oh, someone asked me what is a gaga, because I said in my my little bio paragraph that I gave to Jason, what is a gaga, and I was like, well, that's what my grandson calls me. And I thought I'd respond by saying, well, I'd rather be called a gilf, but anyway, gaga's fine.
I thought it was that you were a Lady Gaga fan. I was like, oh, interesting.
No.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
But
no.
then I realized,
If Lady
yeah.
Gaga knocked at my front door, I wouldn't even know it was her. She'd have to tell me. And then I'd be like, oh, girl, come on in. Let's get some coffee.
Yes, yes.
So,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah. So, what do you say we look at the sky? You want to look at the sky? Let's just
Yes,
take
I
a
am
deep breath
excited.
and just take in the beauty of the universe and see what we can read and all that good stuff. I'm going to do that. Okay. Share screen.
So Trina, the Moon Tree Intuitive, says, I'm a whole sign tropical astrologer, which works very well for personal predictions, but for the collective, your true sky constellation astrology is so awesome.
Okay. I can see that. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever works. I've always been of the mind that, it's not necessarily the astrology. If you're tapped into the cycles around you, you're going to be able to give good readings to people. You're going to be able to help them. And I agree with you that the whole sign house system, if you just take the energy of the signs that are associated with the houses and you read it like that, that is very powerful energy in medical astrology, for one thing, and then also in prosperity astrology. So it's super interesting because all the Renaissance medical literature on astrology is basing it on the whole sign house system, and it really does comport. It's fascinating. That's why I don't get into it with the constellations, because I'm like, I don't have enough data points to say that this is the way to do that. So if I were to do medical astrology, I'd probably do it that way, for sure. All right. You see the sky? Isn't this beautiful? Let's go to right now, because the sun is setting. Where's the sun? Okay, that's that full moon that's coming that we're going to talk about in a minute. But here is the sun. And so sunset, if you have a clear sky, do me a favor, y'all. As the sun is setting, just look to the west. You're going to see Venus. Okay, and then you're going to see Moon in Scorpio and Ophiuchus conjunct the star Antares. Let's put the constellations in so we can see it a little bit better. Do you guys see that? That's just, I love that sight. We have clouds right now. I think we have a tropical storm coming. It'll be fine. Don't worry. It's just really rainy and windy, and it's not a big deal. I am not actually on the water where I live. I'm about 15 minutes from the coast, so I will be fine. I have plenty of food and water. I have a lot of appointments scheduled tomorrow, a lot of consults, but hopefully the internet will still be on. If not, we can just reschedule. But yeah, so let me show you something else that is interesting, because when we look at this full moon, it's happening on the 17th. Today is the 10th, and the sun is still in the constellation of Leo. We are in the dog days of summer, my friends. This is, and I'll show you in a second why we still call it the dog days of summer. This will not ingress into Virgo. It will not be officially Sun Virgo season until the 15th of September. And Virgo is a huge constellation, okay? This Virgo season lasts all the way until October or November 5th. So the entire month, the rest of September, the entire month of October, and then the first week of November. So we are in it. After the 15th, it's going to feel like we are in the last mile of our marathon, if that makes sense. So that's that. How does that feel, Dezarey?
What do you mean by that? Mile of marathon? Because my marathon is on another planet right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Well, so this is the changing of the seasons energy, because the heat of summer is going to start wearing off. The weather's going to start shifting. The days are going to get shorter. The equinox follows shortly thereafter. So daylight will get shorter in the northern hemisphere, and it will get longer in the southern hemisphere. So there's a shift of energy here around the equinox.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And full moons.
So we're like pumping out just to get through the summer, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. So let me show you the eastern sky at sunrise. So I guess we'll go to tomorrow morning. So for those of you that get up early, there's Canis Major in the star Sirius. It's one of the brightest stars in our sky. So if you're up early before dawn, going to work and grinding it, just take a look in the east and you'll see Sirius rising. You'll also see Jupiter a little bit higher up in the constellation of Taurus. Jupiter's not in Gemini right now, by the way. And you can also see Mars. Mars is at the Silver Gate, which is, if you can see this faint band, I don't know if it's visible on YouTube, but this faint band of stars behind it is the other side of the Milky Way galaxy, whereas Ophiuchus, 180 degrees across, is the galactic center, where Scorpio is, where the moon is right now.
So that faint band, what is that?
That's the outer arm of the Milky Way.
Okay, the outer arm of the Milky Way. So if our galaxy's on the other side, right? In Ophiuchus?
We're in it. We are in the galaxy. Okay. All right, let me show you.
What's the galactic center? Okay, okay.
Yeah, so like when we are just one star in an enormous Milky Way. Okay. When you look at let's actually just sort of co-pilot this.
Oh, it just clicked. Yeah. All right.
No, I'm glad you asked that question because it's not intuitive to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the sun in the Milky Way? And please bear with me. This is also theoretical because we don't actually know. Any pictures that I show you are artistic representations of where astronomers think we are. Okay. So I'm not saying that this is where we really are, but this picture here would explain
Mm-hmm.
why we see a bright, cloudy
You see that.
center, and
Gosh,
the
yeah.
stars of Ophiuchus are here, and then why over here we see Taurus and Gemini, and we see a faint band from the Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
So the faint band is the edge of the galaxy, right?
Yes.
Yes, I got it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. And our solar system
Thank you for that.
ecliptic is tilted to the galactic ecliptic. You can see this band right here. This is the ecliptic belt right here. You have Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, Pisces, and then you have this band, which is the Milky Way ecliptic. And if you take away the land and you zoom out, you see the Milky Way here. You see it. And there's actually some ancient astrology for the constellations that are in the Milky Way as well. I should look into that. There are some astrologers that do that. Like they'll look at, but the only thing is that no planets travel through it. So you can kind of approximate where it might be in a chart, whereas it might not be so accurate. And it really has to do with where you are in the world, but that's getting really deep. So I just wanted you guys to see the beautiful holosphere, stellosphere that we are sitting in. And then I wanted to get into that moon energy. So, all right, let's do it. Unless you had any other thoughts about that. Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. Okay, let me just close all this. All right. Yeah, so this is the Uranus class.
Oh.
Just sort of serendipitously showed up here. Let me pull this up. Uh-oh, that won't let me in. Okay, let me put this down. Let me try this. Oh, here we go. All right, so this is the full moon chart. All right. So when you have a full moon, you have sun-moon opposition. That's the big full moon in the sky. When the sun starts to set, you start to see the moon rise. And the moon is the brightest object in the sky when the moon is full. So you have this opposition, and you have an opposition between Virgo energy and Pisces energy. This is an energy we've been dealing with eclipses, and that is why these eclipses the last several years have been so incredibly powerful, because the full moon and the new moon are lining up with the lunar nodes. You remember what the lunar nodes are, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. So it's where the moon's orbital ecliptic is tilted to the solar system ecliptic by about 5 degrees. And so if you were to lay this zodiac wheel out flat, like if you were just uncoil it and lay it flat, then you would see the moon go up and down, up and down. And so when it's crossing over the north node, it's coming up. When it's crossing over the south node, it's going down. So it's under the ecliptic here when it passes through Scorpio. So it's in the belly of Scorpio, while Ophiuchus is way up here. So sometimes the moon doesn't even touch Ophiuchus when it goes through that space. So here's your south node, and here's your north node. This south node in Virgo, I'm getting a lot of readings, a lot of energy from people that are Virgo risings, that have a lot of energy in their Virgo. There's almost a divine feminine awakening going on here. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. If anybody else can feel that, it's like there's an ancestral healing going on as well for a lot of people. And so what that does is it's healing generations before them, generations behind them, and it's rippling outward into reality. And the people that trailblaze this path are the ones with a lot of like Virgo energy in their chart. Like the people that were born in the early 60s, late 50s, they trailblazed this path. They had like Uranus and Pluto together, and they were raised by people that literally, didn't talk about these dark energies. They didn't talk about shadow work. Like it wasn't appropriate to talk about that stuff. And also as females, they were somewhat they were
Right.
somewhat inhibited from pursuing their dreams, at least that there was a cultural norm around that back then. Not anymore, hopefully, but
Right.
back
Right.
then there was a glass ceiling. So there's a lot of feminine energy that's very wounded, that is ancestral, that is that needs to be healed. And so this full moon reminds me of that, and it reminds me of the actual physical work that we have to do here in this world. And getting out there and doing the physical things can make us really, really vulnerable. And Virgo doesn't like to be vulnerable, not at all. In fact, whenever there's a vulnerable Virgo, the reaction is projection and hypercriticality or low self-esteem and not wanting to do it. But I challenge those. Let's take Mercury out of the picture as the ruler. Let's pull in this Venus divine feminine energy, which is utterly empowering, and stand up and just speak the truth. And who cares? Like, so what if you get a bad comment? So what if someone doesn't like your opinion? It just seems to me that there's an empowering energy that we can tap into with Virgo, but on the surface, it may not feel so empowering. Does that make sense? So this is the vulnerable energy that I'm talking about, the prey energy, where you become vulnerable to the slings and arrows that are out there in the field and in the physical world. And then meanwhile, we've got this Moon and Neptune conjunct, also very close to Saturn. And when I saw this is where I got that dark feeling. And I'm not sure why. I really don't like reading dark energy, but I do. I will. A friend of mine a while back, someone that I used to correspond with on a regular basis, she lives in the Netherlands. If she's watching, I'm going to give her props for this, was doing a series of writings on animal energy around the planets. And yeah, it was super interesting. Like, she gave Pluto, like, the eagle energy. She gave the snakes. I can't even remember what they are, but the one that I really remember that really, really struck me was Saturn as a wolf. Right? So I don't know how that feels to you. I don't know if you do any animal spirits, or if this makes sense or resonates with you. Let me kind of expound on it a little bit.
Yes, elaborate, please.
So typically you've got Saturn as the teacher, the crystallizer of your reality, the one who attains enlightenment by realizing he builds his own prisons. He kind of takes responsibility for things, and then once you master that kind of responsibility, then you can really be a master manifester. But at the same time, Saturn in Aquarius is like this authoritarian energy. It's in retrograde now, so it's not really putting any pressure on us. But I think in the next 2 months or so, Saturn will go direct again. And I think that's really where we're going to feel it. And so this feels to me almost like sort of the circling wolf, right? Now, I don't know if that's because they're circling because...
That sounds ominous.
Right, because they're circling the prey, or if they're circling to protect. Does that make sense? So are we being protected here? Or are we being set up? You know what I'm saying? Are you feeling that too? I don't mean to be like an alarmist, and I'm not trying to make anybody feel yucky about it. That really resonated with me. And I don't really
you feel like the wolf is kind of circling as he's maybe looking at his prey?
Either that or protecting his brood.
Or protecting.
Right? Okay. Because wolves will circle the perimeter too, right? To protect the puppies. That could be there too. So
I'm sorry, my connection just keeps going in and out, and so I'm getting bits and pieces of what you're saying.
Oh, that's
very unfortunate.
Teresa says it makes sense. Monique in Wonderland said wolves are a big problem in the Netherlands. Also hunts in packs, attacking dogs and children. Wolves follow the moon. Yeah, I mean, and basically where that moon is right now for this full moon, that werewolf energy, the full moon energy, So I just got that sense of prey, that vulnerability of Virgo, and then that strength energy that is circling this very tender, very spiritual moon. And the reason I say tender is because Neptune's associated with it, and it's Pisces. And this is just such an energy of the mist, of love, of oneness. One of my friends is a Moon Neptune conjunction in Libra, and she is gifted psychically, like, oh my God, accurate. Like if you ask her a question and she concentrates on it for just a moment, accurate, like nails it every time. It's amazing. And I think we're going to be able to tap into these energies. Okay, these incredibly psychic and intuitive energies. It's almost as if there's this grouping here with Saturn, Moon, Neptune, North Node, and then this Mercury, Moon, and South Node, with all this feminine energy, with all this vulnerable energy, right? And then there's this like extremely psychic, tender, gifted energy there that is very powerful, very useful. And I think it's the power of prayer. It's the power of setting intentions. Usually on full moons, we let things go, right? That's usually the theory behind full moons. But I feel like this is almost an opportunity to surrender to that power that you have. Uh-oh, we lost Dezarey, it looks like. Hopefully she'll come back in. It's crazy. Sometimes when I get really like into the reading, the energy on the live stream will be crazy. So she's coming back. Here she is. Oh no, there's two of me. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. The whole internet like had a brain fart or had some sort of weird surge when I was giving that reading. I think I might be onto something.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I had an intuitive hit, I think. It kind of feels like now is the time to decide what type of energy you're going to use. Like, are you going to work with this energy where you are allowing yourself to be preyed upon, or are you going to take up the guard and say, no, this, I'm standing my ground here. This is mine. I'm protecting it, and we're going to move forward. So that's kind of what I kind of feel after what you've just said, after your explanation. You pray or pray.
Pray. Yeah. Pray or pray. That's why when I so guys, this full moon is next week. So it's 1 week from today. It's not right now. We're leading up to this energy. And so this video is a heads up for you to think about how are you going to respond to the energies in the field that may be coming for you. I wanted to do you guys houses with this video, but I feel like there's so much to talk about that if I start taking you through the houses and how to find that in your natal chart, that you might, your brains might melt. But what you want to do is, if you want to figure this out for your own chart, for your own houses, go to drdanny.com and get that free web chart. Put your birth details in there. It will generate your chart. Look where Pisces and Virgo are in your chart in the constellations, and it will give you the houses, right? So in this chart, Pisces is in the 12th house, but in your birth chart, Pisces might be midheaven, which means that you've got a 10th house, 4th house axis to deal with here. And that means you're dealing with this personal issues in your life that this lunar eclipse may be reflecting on is work and home, mother and father energy. Okay. So if it's 1st and 7th house, it could be relationships. It could be self energy. It could be evolution for yourself, evolution in relationships. So you just look and see where that is. And then those of you that have taken that free intro course, you'll know what it means, because you get all the house information in that video, in those modules. So yeah, that's it. Pray or pray. Do you want to like pull a spread on this energy, maybe?
Sure. Janine Denaro has a question. She says she wants to know if aspects need to be exact, and what is the orb that is used?
Oh, that's a good question. So I guess sometimes it just depends on what you're using it for. if I can see it in the chart I generate, then I go with it. Like if I can see that relationship, which is why the conjunctions of Neptune, Moon, and North Node are loose. They're really loose, but they're all there together. They're all in this space between Aquarius and Pisces energy. So you can do it loosely like that. If you're doing transits, especially with the slower movers, the tighter the orb, the better. So sometimes a 1 or 2 degree orb. When I'm doing Venus transits, I use a larger orb. The sun has a larger orb. So it depends on the brightness of the planet, the intensity of the planet. And it may be helpful or useful for someone to look at the full, 6-7 degree orb of a transit to see where it starts, where the wave starts coming, because a lot of times the tightness of orb just describes the peak of the wave, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. If a big wave's coming, you probably want to kind of know when it's really loose. That way you can be prepared for it. And a lot of times the more intense energy is when it becomes exact. And then there's usually a release after the exact.
Okay, that makes sense. So did you want me to pull the cards on the individual houses, or did you just want the overall wolf energy?
Yeah, let's do that wolf energy. Let's see what that's about.
Okay, let me see. So I was telling you I had a tarot deck that was kind of like an oracle / tarot. But I don't think we should use that deck. Let me see what I have back here.
Do you have an animal deck?
An animal. I don't think so. I don't see one. I'm still trying to set this up here. I've got a few more decks downstairs. I do have the Wild Unknown Tarot. Do you know that one?
No, I
one
don't.
of the mini ones. That one's kind of cool. It's got some animals in it. We can do this one. Yeah. I don't think it has wolf in it though. All right, we'll do the Wild Unknown. This was one of the first couple of decks that I bought off eBay, and I didn't realize that it was one of those cheap knockoff ones. And so I figured it out maybe about 3 months later, and I'm like, oh no, should I throw it away? But I decided not to, because I seem to keep all of my decks. All right, so let me switch so y'all can see these cards here. No, wrong button.
I'm just playing with these comments. This is really fun.
Okay.
I love seeing all of you here. This is so wonderful.
I know, this is amazing. That is so cool. Okay, so let me fix this a little bit.
I'm going to switch you so you can be the main deal here.
All right, star of the show. Can't get this angle just right.
Desiree, are you doing readings yet?
I started to do one, and then I just got kind of bogged down with work.
Okay.
And so, yeah. So the answer is no. I do have one person that is not my family member that I'm doing her reading, and so I told her I would get it done by the end of the week, but I don't think that's going to be possible because work just kind of.
I know life gets in the way of all this fun woo-woo stuff, doesn't it?
It does, and it makes me a little angry. Well, not angry.
We're not
a willing
angry.
Player. No, not angry. Just frustrated. And, okay, I'll make you dinner.
That's right.
I've got 4 kids, y'all, so it's really hard for me to find anything that's my own that I have time for.
All right, I am excited to see what Spirit has to say about this.
All right, so yes.
I love tarot.
Yes, you're a tarot reader yourself, and that is awesome.
I'm a private closet tarot reader.
We've all been there. I've been there too. It took me a while to tell my husband also,
Oh, really?
which is weird because, like, I tell him a lot of stuff. You know, tell him almost everything. He's my BFF, so it was just kind of. But it was just, we're both. I'm in accounting, and he's a banker, so we're just very, numbers and
Mercury. Yep.
yeah. And so when I started picking this up, it was just like, whoa. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to tell anybody. So,
Well, when I saw your Virgo, it totally made sense to me. So,
and it's always been there. It's just that it's just always been there. I just never really fostered that part of my existence, I guess you could say. All right, cards. Let's see what is going on with this full moon. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Sun, and we have Father of Wands in reverse. So both of our fire energies are in reverse. And so Father of Wands is like King of Wands energy. And the Sun is the energy that really illuminates things, makes things seen, makes things known. So it's almost like there are some things going on in the background, or things that are some action, some things that some happenings, kind of like what we were just talking about. Like perhaps there's something that you like to do that you're kind of keeping hidden and not showing, but this new moon, or I keep saying new moon, the full moon is a time to shine that, to bring that to the forefront. So like if there's any kind of secret abilities that you have, or things that you've been thinking about wanting to do or feeling the urge to do, perhaps now is the time to bring that forward and let that shine. Because there are I get the feeling of like stuck and hidden energy. The Eight of Wands is a card of action, and not really it's a card of doing, right? Getting there and doing what you need to do. It is a card of action. And then the Father of Wands, now he's very action oriented. He's got some Aries energy in him. He's got Leo energy in him as well, where he takes charge and he's really on the forefront of things. And with these two energies in reverse, these energies are there, but they're just not being utilized to their fullest capacity. And I see the Sun wanting to expose that, and expose it in a good way, expose it in using it so that you can benefit from it, and that other people can benefit from it as well. So, maybe it is that circling wolf and that protection type thing where this is your baby, but it's time to shine. It's time to bring it out. So how do you feel about these cards, Dr. Danny?
Wow, you are like spot on. Not only do I see that in your cards, do I see that in the astrology, but I also am just getting that in a sense from people. There's all these people that are coming to the forefront saying, do I have this ability? Am I special? Can I do this? I mean, I get a lot of that. Even my own flowering into my own ability. So, and being able to express that and show that to people as a serious physician, why would a serious physician get into all of this stuff? I don't really tell everybody at work what I do. And if some of the people that come from work that are on this channel, they're fine, because that's what they believe in too. So, so that's fine for me, but it really is. It's about coming out and all of your glory with all of those gifts, those psychic, spiritual, vulnerable gifts that are about to emerge. They're about to emerge. That's what I think. Yeah, this is nice. The that King of Wands card, I always see that as a protector, like a benevolent energy, almost Jupiterian. And I see the Eight of Wands is just things moving very quickly. So I think this moon will also have the quality of being a release. So it'll be swift. So it'll be a quick upswing in energy, and then it'll be down. Yeah.
It'll be that
like a relief.
That final sigh. Yeah.
Because that sun also looks like an explosion, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Like a burst.
I love Yeah, I love the way it kind of just comes into a point too here, where there's just like some concentrated energy right
I know
in
all
there.
you art cakes people are seeing the phoenix, the red star in there, huh?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's
Probably.
right. Yeah. All right, let me switch this and go back to you.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I wish my cards
Amazing.
were bigger. Like, oh, it would have been so much better. Okay.
Oh, let me put us back together. There we go. I'm getting good at this.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
All right.
That's
So I
awesome.
think what's also useful is to maybe watch the sky a little bit until we get up to that full moon. Maybe watch it through the next couple of weeks and into the excuse me, into the solar eclipse. That way you guys can appreciate the movement of the sky. So I just wanted to show you some movement, and then we can sign out for the night and I can get back to work. This is actually the fun part. Well, it's all fun, but you know what I mean. Okay, let me show you stellarium first, because that is a way to move the sky. So we'll take the atmosphere out and we'll find the sun.
I'm going out to the country this weekend, so hopefully I
are?
can see the galactic center, because I've never even really looked at it.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen it. Yeah. Oddly enough. Well, I mean, I live in Houston. It's really hard to see anything up there except the sun.
So let's take this sky forward about 3 weeks up until the eclipse, okay? There's the moon. It's going to move off to stage left and go
We
under the
can't
earth.
see your screen.
Oh, let me share my screen. That's why I need you.
You're welcome, guys.
keep
You're
me straight.
welcome. You're welcome. Ooh. Seeking Truth lived in a tent for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
New York, Massachusetts. Yeah, that's awesome.
Feeling the urge to go back? Yeah, maybe that's a good thing to do during the eclipse.
Right.
All right. So here's sun.
Okay,
We're just
now
going
we
to
see it.
zoom through. You can see Mercury getting close, making that conjunction. It's finally Virgo season here. There's the eclipse, okay? So that's what we're watching. Venus will also transgress into Leo that day. So from today, here comes the moon again. Right here, there it is. In Leo, Virgo, eclipse.
And so this is Mercury's inferior conjunction with the sun.
Superior. Yeah, think
I'm gonna get
way
those right
far
one
away.
day.
Yeah, superior is way far away, or grander, farther away.
Okay. Okay, that might help. Okay.
Very nice. And then let's look at it on a chart, because we need to see that too. If I can get my bar to come up. Yep. Here we go.
So
This is
I thought Mercury was in retrograde when he is inferior.
Inferior, yes, is retrograde. Superior is direct.
Okay.
You got it. So, you know what? It won't let me animate this chart. Let me get the transit chart. When you pull a chart,
is this the software?
When you pull a chart for like the lunar phases, it won't let you move it. But if you just pull a transit chart, it will let you animate it, which is really nice. So let me see if this thing will let me do that. Interesting. Hold on a second. The restream is not letting me click on it.
That darn restream. They won't let you use your pen either. Huh?
I know. That's like part of my gig is the pen.
Yes.
All right, let's move this forward by days. And we'll move that out of the way. Okay. So let's go to today. So here we are. There is the sun in Leo, Venus in Virgo, moon in Scorpio, about to go into Ophiuchus, and we're going to watch it up to the eclipse. Okay, so watch sun, watch Mercury, watch moon, watch Venus. That's what's happening. And the moon moves 12 degrees a day, something like that. Like every 2 hours, it moves 1 degree. So you can see them getting real snug right there. Mercury and Sun, there it is. And then here comes the moon. Okay, so that's pretty tight in terms of conjunctions.
Yes.
The orbs there is very, very tight, much tighter than the full moon. So there's a development here of that psychic energy that Neptune's tapping into as well. And again, it's that Virgo Pisces axis, and it's a reset for the Sun, a reset for the moon, and then a reset for Mercury. So that's what we're working with.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, cool. Does anybody have any questions? Any other thoughts?
Oh, okay. Shmita was asking what software you use, but Lookup answered her. She's
Awesome.
all over it. Yes.
Thank you. I'm gonna have to make her a moderator.
No.
We can have more than one.
Oh yeah, we can, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So don't be in fear. Don't move in fear with this energy. Anything that's coming from the field, from the outside, it's an illusion, guys. It really is. It's there to incite fear. It's there to incite you to be angry, to make you feel like you're a victim, make you feel like you're not worth it. But you are a strong and powerful soul, an immortal soul, and you have the ability to not take it. So that's what I would say for this moon and coming into the solar eclipse as well. Twilight Mist asked, what does it mean to have a planet in Ophiuchus? Yeah, so it just depends on which planet. It's the galactic center. So it depends, but when the sun and moon and stuff move through Ophiuchus, we talk about that on the YouTube channel. I also have the Ophiuchus practicum, which Dezarey took. So Dezarey, you can tell Twilight Mist how amazing that class is.
Yes, it was great. It was a very informative class. I had no idea, and I knew nothing about Ophiuchus, and Dr. Danny really explained really well the energies, and it's ruled by Chiron. So all your classes are great.
Thank you. She said Neptune. I guess she's got Neptune in Ophiuchus. There's a lot of you with Neptune in Ophiuchus, and I call you guys
Neptune in Ophiuchus.
Yeah, I call you guys the indigo children. You are the indigo souls.
One of my favorite colors.
Yep. You have come here to literally change the planet. You're not from here. The Neptunes in Ophiuchus. You are not from here. No, you're not. You are here out of the kindness of your souls, out of the kindness of your collective hearts, to come here and help us poor humans, to help us transcend and to help us understand our role in the universe. And I feel like you guys don't get the recognition that you need to trust the awesome powers that you channel, the awesome downloads that you have. So that's why I like to help you guys, shine my own light on you so that you understand that what you're bringing through really is useful. Because if you're not feeling that, a lot of times Ophiuchus can be a very dark energy, and Neptune can take you to the depths. It can take you to a very dark and void place. The void energy. When you don't know what you're doing in the void, it can be very dark. When you don't realize that you are the only light in the void, that can be very scary. And a lot of times the indigo children want to just sort of check out and get out of here. So they get into the drugs, they get into very harmful behaviors. Some even commit suicide. So yeah, it's Ophiuchus and Neptune.
Yeah, that's what I talk about on my channel a lot is healing, because I was in a really dark place for a while, and I somehow brought myself out of it, and so I'm a full advocate on healing oneself, healing through illumination, and tarot is one of the things that really helped, along with a lot of other things. And so I can see how Ophiuchus can get really, really dark. And sometimes I find that I slip back into it, but I can pull myself out. But that's been, a lot of years of practice. So I can see how Ophiuchus could get really, really dark. Yeah.
Yeah. My North Node is in Ophiuchus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
So you are here to help.
I am here. I am guided to show you guys your true stars,
Yes. Oh my
show
goodness.
you the
That's
power of
awesome.
the Milky Way and the galactic center,
Mhm.
and your own unique and divine gifts for managing these celestial cycles, because I really do believe that they are the codes that help us crack this existence. As long as we can remember, that we have this power, as long as we remember that we have this ability, we can do this.
I
So
agree.
hopefully it's been an uplifting presentation for you guys.
It was for me.
Yes, for me too. For me too. I really enjoy all of you new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining us. Des, if you want to stick around, I have a couple questions for you. I want to run some
Awesome.
ideas
Yeah.
by you. Okay,
Oh, sure.
cool. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Here to help.
we'll sign off and we'll see you guys next week. Okay. All right. Namaste, my loves.